Okay, what's happened here? Hart is handcuffed on the ground and being watched by Deputy Terrell. Deputies Murphy and Wells and Detective Twisselman have entered Hart's house, without permission, as part of their investigation into a report of gunshots fired. Inside, they have seen a locked gun safe. After taking Hart's keys from him, the deputies gain access to the safe. Murphy consults here with Detective Eric Twisselman, and a discussion about the search legality ensues.
You're the detective. Do you need a warrant to get into that gun safe?
I don't think under
Exigent circumstances?
exigent circumstances you have to.
Exigent circumstances are those circumstances that would cause a reasonable person to believe that entry was necessary to prevent physical harm to officers or other persons, destruction of relevant evidence, or escape of a suspect. So having already entered the house and broken into the safe under some yet-to-be-determined exigent circumstances, the deputies continue to forage through the Hart residence.
There should be a woman here.
Well, I was just about to say I found some panties.
What's wrong?
The deputies soon turn their attention to the contents of the newly opened gun safe.
That is a nice, very nice piece of ornament. And there's one in the chamber.
51, subject Hart
magazine.
is valid and
Remington,
clear.
1100.
8 weapons registered to him.
Semi-auto? It's
He's
exactly
got
what
8 weapons registered.
Okay. Check these out.
There's a whole nother
M1A one?
M14.
Oh, it's the M14. Oh, it's a Mini 14.
Yeah, Mini
Okay. And then he's got, I'm not sure if it's an 1100 or 1187, but I want exactly this. He's got a couple of very nice firearms in that safe. Who's that?
We
I
gonna take
closed-
everything?
I'd say so. He's got like an M1A, a really nice semi-auto 12 gauge with pistol grip.
In order for law enforcement to get into our homes, they've got to have a warrant.
San Luis Obispo attorney Louis Corey.
A warrantless search of someone's home is presumed to be illegal. So there's a presumption that has to be overcome. And really the presumption doesn't have to be overcome by the citizen in court. It's really, the burden is on the police, in this case the deputy sheriffs, to justify what they did.
Perhaps you can argue an exigency as far as going in and making sure that no one was, since you did have some guns involved and firing of guns, to go in, clear the house, make sure nobody else is in there that poses a hazard. I don't have a problem with that. But to go to the next step of acquiring keys and opening, locked containers in the house is, from all of my experience, it wasn't prudent, and it doesn't reflect well on law enforcement when people do that.
You are about to eavesdrop on a conversation between deputies as they cavalierly begin to manufacture their reasons for having gone into this house and the gun safe.
Just get your brain going. What was the exigency for entering the house?
Bodies.
Essentially.
Yeah. Well, no, exigency. As far as I'm concerned, we go in the house.
Exigency
We don't
for
know.
bodies, exigency for seizing firearms is a different story.
But we've got the negligent discharge and brandishing and stuff like that. So we take the guns as safekeeping. At the very least, he's got to get a judge's order to get them back.
Take the guns as safekeeping?
A deputy returns to the house after inspecting the property and tells Deputy Murphy there are only targets down there. This doesn't please Murphy at all.
There are targets down there.
Okay, are there any houses over there?
Well,
I saw a car driving back there. So that's an area where there are houses and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, screw 'em. Negligent discharge.
Another deputy compares the entry of Hart's home to that of Los Angeles Police Detective Mark Furman when he jumped over a fence at the estate of O.J. Simpson in 1994.
Furman and who were those guys that went over the wall? That
Wow.
they couldn't articulate on the stand when they were being questioned by the defense.
He'll report a Furman. Who knows? This guy's shooting across, he's firing guns, he acts defiant when the police show up. He could have just killed his entire family.
My only thoughts on this deal is if we start digging more looking for hidden guns, because we've already found one, and ammo, we're going to need to paper it. I mean, the exigency only lasts until we get him, and
The guns
I mean,
that
they
we can
can't-
find in the
yeah,
immediate.
in
Okay,
the
well, let's
immediate
take the
area.
guns in the immediate area then.
Okay.
Yeah.
since
So-
he had keys on him.
I agree with you. We can't, going through any other place where we saw 2 gun safes, I think we're safe with those.
Right.
Searching underneath the bed and shit like that probably.
But they've already searched this by now. So see, he was going. It sounds to me as if he was going to say, searching them were probably. I think the next words were not okay or something along that line.
What you will hear now in Deputy Murphy's own surprising words are his plans to defend the search of Hart's home and gun safe, as well as Hart's pending arrest.
And,
He's already talking about filing a complaint about us being in his house, so I just want you to, whoever writes this up, to articulate their reason why.
Right, I will supplement it and use very flowery language.
What is troubling about this case is that the deputies are going out of their way to create exigent circumstances that don't exist. That's an abuse of the exception to the Fourth Amendment rule, which says that warrantless searches of homes are flat out illegal.
They went out of their way to flower up, as they called it, their evidence.
But clearly the officers are struggling, and the officer admits that he's going to have to use flowery language in order to get this past a judge. But flowery language in the report is not going to overcome the facts in this case, and under skillful cross-examination, there's no way that these deputies can justify this search.
They made some really serious mistakes.
Here, deputies discuss criminal charges now necessary to justify their search of the gun safe.
I don't know what we're going to charge him with yet.
I was negligent discharge. I'd say 417 in the presence of the peace officer.
In the absence of a warrant, there's got to be some emergency situation. There's got to be some exigent circumstance that justifies this search. So basically what we're looking for is we're looking for some exigent circumstance that justifies intrusion into this home, and in particular, the intrusion into this gun safe. In this case, I think what you would have is you'd have the officers on the stand trying to say that there could be perhaps a victim in the gun safe, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you look at that gun safe.
In a comment heard only by the handcuffed Hart, his dog, and the open microphone, Deputy Terrell candidly minimizes the incident.
And in the future, if something like this happens, all you had to do, drop the rifle, put your hands up, listen to what we say, get checked, make sure things are cool, and we can get out of your hair.
Even the deputies on the scene don't think it's a big deal. Nevertheless, Hart's headed to jail, charged with negligent discharge, brandishing at police, possession of a machine gun, and resisting arrest.